This is the Audi Q7, possibly the most technological SUV ever created. With SUVs becoming more and more popular, the prices are also starting to rise. For example, this SUV here costs $80,000. $80,000 for an SUV. But the Audi Q7 is full of so much technology. I personally think it is the most technologically advanced SUV ever created, except for maybe a couple of Tesla and Model X variants. The Audi Q7 has tons of safety features, tons of performance features, as well as tons of versatility and cargo space. Let's go and take an in-depth look at this 2016 Audi Q7. The Audi Q7 started its sales in 2005 with the first generation, and moving on to the second generation that was released in 2016, you can clearly see that it does basically put the old Q7 design elements and mix them with, of course, Audi's new design elements. So we have lots of things on the Q7 that resemble other products like the A4, the new Q5 which came out, which is actually based on this. And basically the rest of Audi's design lineup is now slowly making its transition over to this new design. Lots of buyers are now looking for crossovers or SUVs to buy, and luxury brands have seen basically an opportunity to sell luxury SUVs. So brands like Mercedes, BMW, and Audi have all started building really nice crossovers to compete in the segment. The Q7 is a 3-row, 7-passenger SUV that competes with vehicles like the Mercedes GLS, the Infiniti QX60, and even possibly the BMW X5. Let's go and take an in-depth look at this 2016 Audi Q7 Technic all-wheel drive. Wondering what you actually get for $80,000 in this car, and let me just tell you, it is a lot. Let's just start with the mechanicals. Now, if you do choose the advanced handling package, you do get 4-way steering, and that means that all 4 wheels can steer themselves. Now, the rear wheels can steer up to 5 degrees in one direction, and basically this will help with tighter turns. So the rear wheels will turn the opposite way of the front wheels, and it'll allow for your vehicle to make wider turns. As well as, of course, at high speeds, the rear wheel steering will help with added stability. Next, of course, you have the 3-liter supercharged TFSI V6. And that goes through a ZF 8-speed automatic through quattro all-wheel drive system to all 4 wheels. That makes 333 horsepower, which is pretty good. And you can also get dynamic LED rear turn signals, which allows for your vehicle basically to have a full line of turn signal, and it'll all go in one direction, starting from the inside to the outside of the car. Also, we have, of course, a power tailgate, and you can get it with a foot-activated sensor as well. This car doesn't have it. This car has a accessory hitch instead, but you can simply push the button and open it up. Like so. And you'll notice, of course, the reverse lights are down here on the bottom. That's a typical Audi SUV thing, the Q3, the Q5, and of course the Q7 all have it. Now, there are 2 engine options for the Audi Q7, but most people will go with this 3-liter V6. And this 3-liter V6 has a supercharger on it, and it makes 333 horsepower and 327 pound-feet of torque. It also returns pretty good fuel economy, and that's if you're extremely, of course, like hypermiling it, trying to get the best fuel economy, but this engine has lots of potential to have good fuel economy. The other engine is, of course, just a 2-liter turbocharged engine, and you no longer get the 3-liter TDI, which I know was a big part of the last generation of Q7. The TDI was the big engine that people would get, but since, of course, Audi doesn't offer diesel engines anymore, you can't get the 3-liter TDI, so you're stuck at a 3-liter V6, but it's still a great engine. taking a look now at the front of the Q7, you can see it's a very clean design, but yet it's still very bold and aggressive, just like the old one. You of course have this nice big one-piece centered chrome piece that goes all the way around the front grille with these horizontal slats here. Nice big Audi badge, and of course you have your front camera right underneath that. Moving over towards the sides, we of course have these really nice LED matrix headlights, and on the Technic model, which is the top end trim, you do receive full LED headlights, 8 LED daytime running lights, and LED turn signals, as well as these fog lights down below. And these are extremely good headlights, basically the best headlights you can get on an Audi Q7 product, and they're exceptionally good. They look good, and it's very impressive. And overall, the entire build of this Q7 is a little bit less as rugged as the previous Q7, and it goes more for kind of a station wagon type look, but you still get that boosted SUV feel, and it's definitely a very nice design, and it's very easy to look at. The design of the Audi Q7 really pioneers most of the Audi designs that came with it. So for example, the new Q5 is basically based on the same platform, as well as the upcoming Audi Q3 will also probably look similar to this. And of course, on this Technic model, you get these nice big 5-spoke 20-inch wheels, come on the S-line trim. Audi also builds off their product with these nice, crisp clear lines, like this one here that goes all the way from the front, all the way to the back of the vehicle. And you of course have these mirrors here with these LED integrated turn signals. And also on the mirror you'll find on the inside is your blind spot monitoring system. A little light will come on if someone's in your blind spot. First, stepping up to your vehicle, you take out your key here, and it's a very nice key fob. It's very high quality. Feels very nice to hold. So you have your lock, your unlock, your trunk, and your alarm down here. So all you have to do to actually just open up the car is put the key in your pocket. Of course, it's a keyless entry system, so you just put your hand behind the door, it'll unlock for you, and then you can get in. Stepping into the car at first here, we're greeted by a very nice Q7 Quattro virtual cockpit here. And taking a look over, it's a very clean design interior, and it's really nice first impression. Now lots of this technology follows into the interior of the car, where lots of cool features are located. So let's first start by starting it up. So all you have to do is put your foot on the brake, push it, and start it up. Let's first take a look at the touchscreen. So this is Audi's MMI system, and it's very good system basically, and it's fairly easy to use. So if we Now there are a couple ways you can use to get navigation. So you can use both for your Apple CarPlay, which this car has, or you can go through the navigation system. So if you want to go through the navigation system of the car, there's a menu system, and then you can actually navigate where you want to go. So you can type it in using the, of course, touchpad here. So you can actually spell the letters where you want to go. And it'll all navigate for you, and you can talk to you. Another way to do it, of course, is through the voice activation on your steering wheel, and you can push that button and tell it where to go, and it'll navigate there as well. Going back to the menu screen here, which is an area where you can see basically everything. So you have your navigation, your telephone, you can go into your radio controls, so you can go into your navigation screens here, and you can go into your radio screens and pick which radio station you want. If you go back to the menu, you can control some of the other vehicle features, like some of the vehicle settings, or of course all the safety systems that we have in this car. And there's basically a ton of safety systems built into the car. So not only does this car have features like adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, blind spot monitoring, a full pedestrian detection system that can detect cyclists or pedestrians in front of your car, as well as cyclists and vehicles going down the side of your car. A little light will come on and it'll beep at you if there's someone driving by and you try to open the door up. This car also has something called traffic jam assist, which uses, of course, the adaptive cruise control and the lane keeping assist in order to actually drive the car autonomously for you when you're in traffic and it's like stop and go. It will drive your car for you. It'll accelerate and brake for you depending on the car in front of you. And it'll keep you driving there, so you don't have to focus on the road. You can just focus on something else. Control. So the front two seats here and then each side on the rear seats. And you can all control from here, so each side gets its own dial, and these dials are very nice. They're nice metal and very smooth, and they have a good click once you get into each setting, and then they feel really good. And you can control it here from all this little screen here, so each side gets its own fan speed, and you can control it from these little toggle switches here, which fan you want, as well as where you want the air to go from this little toggle switch here. Heated seats and ventilated seats each have 3 modes, and are each on the passenger and driver side. That's pretty simple to use. You of course have lots of buttons here that help you with things like lowering the central display unit. This car can parallel park and perpendicular park itself too, so there's a button for that, as well of course as the hazards, traction control off, and the auto start stop system you can turn off too, as well as a mode where you can actually select the different drive modes. So whether you want individual, dynamic, automatic, comfort, or off-road, and with the air suspension, the car will actually lift itself up if you're wanting to do off-road mode, which is cool. Taking a look down here, like I said before, we have, of course, your touchpad system here with numbers here on top, so if you want to enter a number quickly, you can do that, or you can just type it in on the dial here. And also, if you want this to access your menu and your back button. Down here, this is the MMI controller, so you can actually rest your hand here and type, and then you can also use the MMI controller to switch between the different settings on the infotainment display. There's quick access to radio or media, as well as the navigation or telephone systems, so you can easily access that. Moving down here, of course, we have the shifter for the 8-speed ZF automatic. It's a pretty easy system to use. It does take some time to get used to, and it's all electronic, so you have your reverse, neutral, park, and then you go into drive, and there's also a sport mode, which you can use manual shifting on the controller here, as well as use the paddle shifters that are on the steering wheel. And also you have, of course, your park button down here. It's electronic park, as well as you have an electronic parking brake here too. You also have the basically controller for the radio, so you can adjust the volume here, turn it on and off. And you have 2 cup holders here with a nice spot to put your Audi key fob right in the center here, so you have somewhere to put it. You also have another storage area up front here with a 12-volt outlet. And it's nice, it retracts by itself. Taking a look now at the quality is really, really good in this car, as you'd expect from an Audi. All the materials are soft touch. You have this really nice kind of dark wood trim here, and it really suits the car well, as well as this nice aluminum trim. And the air vents, they go all the way across, which is cool too. And you can all be adjusted from here, as well as you can swivel where you want the air to come out through there. So it's nice, and the design of the interior is very good. I do like the screen up here. I especially like that it retracts, so you can retract it when you want for a nice kind of clean look across the dashboard, and it's really nice overall. Taking a look now down below, you have another area for storage, as well as a nice center console here. Taking a look now at the virtual cockpit system. So basically, instead of a gauge cluster, you have this virtual cockpit system, and it's really cool. So let me go over it quickly. So instead of just having a typical ordinary gauge cluster, it's all a display. So you have no more of the traditional gauges. It's all basically a display unit that you can look at, and it can be controlled and for the different modes. So you have your fuel consumption here. For any warnings, so for example, if the fuel's low, it'll tell you that you need to refuel it. You can control your radio here too, as well as your phone, and finally your navigation, and it gives you a really, really large screen in front of you, so that if you're, for example, trying to drive somewhere and using your navigation, you'll be able to see it better, and it'll be easier to get directions, and you won't get lost as easily. And also, if you just want to change things on the fly, it's nice and easy to use, and it's kind of an upgrade over those systems that just provide you with information. It'll also help with all your safety features like I went over before. Your adaptive cruise control and lane keeping assist all will be accessed through there. Taking a look now down towards the side, you have your headlight switches, your fog lights, and your rain lights here too. That's all accessed through here. Onto the door panel, you have two-person memory, as well as your lock and unlock. Nice chrome door handles here with more of this nice dark wood trim. And moving down here, you of course have your mirror controls and your window controls. And your trunk control is actually at the bottom here on the door panel. It's really nice. Moving on to the steering wheel, there are a ton of stocks that come out of it. So you have your stock, your windshield wipers on the right here, and the access to there, as well as your rear windshield wiper. And then on the left here, you have, of course, your turn signals with some extra features like your lane keeping assist and some of your parking sensors. And down here, of course, you have the controls for the adaptive cruise control. Onto the steering wheel now, you have, of course, two paddles on each side. And this can be controlled when your car is in the sport transmission mode. You can control the gears by this. And on the left, you have buttons to change what you want on your virtual cockpit display. On the right here, you have your controls for your voice-activated navigation, your heated steering wheel, and some of your phone controls and radio controls. Moving up top here, there's lots to talk about. So, first of all, you have, of course, this really nice rear mirror. And it's not a traditional one because most of them usually have, of course, a lot more plastic around it. It's nice. It's just one simple piece. It's a very simple design, but it's very nice to look at. And you have a little compass display on your right up here too. And then moving up here, you have your dome lights, as well as, of course, you can control the rear dome light, and of course your controls for your panoramic sunroof. So this car, of course, has a two-panel panoramic sunroof. I don't know if you can hear it. Simply open it up. And it's very nice, and it gives the cabin definitely a way more open and airy feel. Moving on to the seats now, you have these really comfortable leather seats here. They're heated, they're ventilated. This is the extended Valcona leather seats, and they're very comfortable. And they're a very good design. I like it. They're not too tightly bolstered, but at the same time they're kind of sporty, and they really suit the car well. They're extremely comfortable. Let's now move over to the back seat. Now stepping into the rear seats, you can clearly see why people buy these crossovers, and it's because of the rear seat space. There's a ton of leg room. There's more than enough leg room, tons of foot space, and just tons of shoulder space and headroom, even with this two-panel panoramic sunroof. And these seats are still really comfortable back here. The quality is still really good, and of course you have this quad zone climate control too. So now two of the rear seat occupants can control what climate they want. So there's 3-stage heated seats down here, as well as control, of course, the temperature of the air that comes out here. Change the fan speeds. Each side can change the fan speeds, and control the where you want the air to come out. You want to come out these vents, or come out the foot vents. It's up to you. And that's really good. You don't always have to be yelling at the person in the front seat to change the temperature. You can just simply do it yourself. And the quality back here is still amazing, just like the front seat. And it's really an excellent car. Let's go and step into the third row seats. Let's now get into the third row seat. So all you have to do is pull a little handle, and it will fold down the seat like this. Then if you want to actually get into the rear seats here, you can go up here and fold the entire seat unit up forward, which will allow to easier get in. And then you can fold it up like that. Now there is basically no space for my legs or my feet back here, so this is really only meant for children. Now this seat can slide back and forth, but if you were to slide it up enough really to fit me, there wouldn't be much room in the second row either. So this is just for occasional use, and we're not using it, simply just fold them down and you'll have a ton of cargo space in the rear, because these seats aren't really built for adults, but I still have tons of headroom. But yeah, leg room and feet room, not much of that. So I really have to get out of here because it's starting to get really tight. Let's now go and take a look at the trunk space. So now looking at the cargo capacity, so you have plenty of cargo capacity. The rear seats folded down 750 liters, which is a good amount. If you fold all the seats down, so if I go around here, now if I fold down the second row of seats, you now have 1,950 liters of cargo space. But you can also fold up that seat. And fold up the rear seats using the electronic system here. It's pretty simple. Just hold down the buttons. And both seats will fold up. Now, there isn't a ton of cargo space here. There's not much space to put anything, but you still do have 295 liters of cargo capacity when all three rows are put up. And this really adds over, if you were just to get a Q5, there's plenty of extra cargo space here once you fold these seats down. And really, even when the seats are up, there's still a decent amount of space. And you can, of course, fit 7 people in the back of your car, which is, fit 7 people in your car, which is pretty impressive. Those are the rear seats. Finally, here's 4 cool features of the Audi Q7. First of all, it's the heads-up display. Next is the 4-wheel steering. The third is the air suspension that can lift when you put it on off-road mode. And lastly is the traffic jam assist, which helps you basically autonomously drive in traffic situations. As you can see, you get quite a bit for your $80,000 in the Audi Q7. There's tons of technology, tons of features that you really wouldn't expect from an SUV. And overall, it's just a really good package. So if you're in the market for a luxurious 3-row crossover like the Audi Q7, I would really suggest getting one because they are exceptionally good at what they do, which is perfect for families, perfect for people who like lots of technology and performance. So basically, that wraps up the review of the 2016 Audi Q7 Technic Quattro. Please check out my website, which I just released. There'll be a link in the description, as well as my other videos. Make sure to subscribe and check out another one of my videos. And thanks for watching.